Test File 2. Listening. Section 3. You will hear a conversation between a tutor and two students. You now have some time to look at questions 1 to 6. Now listen and answer questions 1 to 6.
Hi, Rahab and Dev. Come in, take a seat. So, you have some questions you want to ask me about the essay on Renaissance architecture?
Yes, we do. They're probably really obvious, but this is the first essay, so we want to check a few things.
Sure, Rahab. No problem.
So, Dev and I aren't really sure about how to include other people's ideas.
Have you found any relevant books and articles yet?
Yes, we found 2 of each already. We've been very organized, but we're not really sure how to refer to them in the essays. How do we include quotes and a bibliography?
You have to follow something called Harvard style. There are lots of books on this topic, and there's also a useful sheet the library produces about plagiarism.
Where can we get those?
I think the sheets are in the self-study area on the first floor. You'll have to ask about the books.
Okay, thank you. We'll take a look. I'm also not sure about using the online submission system. The instructions say we don't print out the essay to submit. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Give me a moment and I'll email you a link. It shows you how to upload essays and how to check your work. There. So, what about the content of your essays? Do you think you've included enough evaluation and not simply written a descriptive essay?
I think so. But it would be useful to read a sample essay to make sure.
If you take a look at the online course website, there are a few from last year. Print one out and try to highlight all of the evaluations so you can see how much there is. Bring it to our next tutorial and we can look at it together.
Okay, that would be really helpful. Thank you.
Can you print one off for me as well, Dev?
Sure, Rahab, no problem.
And I think you might need some more sources too. I suggest you go to the library this afternoon and pick up a couple more books.
I'll do that.
Could you get one of those plagiarism sheets too?
Actually, I think I've got one on my desk already. You can borrow it, Dev.
Great. Thanks, Rahab.
And if you wait a few minutes, I'll get you a sheet with updated information about the books you need to read for the course. When you go to the library, try looking at the books near these on the shelves. They'll give you more relevant sources.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You now have some time to look at questions 7 to 10. Now listen to the rest of the conversation and answer questions 7 to 10.
So you've looked at a range of sample essays then?
Yes, we have. Can we ask you one question about this essay?
Sure.
We're not really sure why it's got a bad mark. There are lots of references in there, and I think it answers the question.
You're right, it does. And everything is related to the question.
So why did it get such a bad mark?
One thing you have to be careful with about looking things up online is the quality of the information you find. Take a look at the reference list. What type of information have they used?
Oh, I see. It's all media information and blogs.
Yes, they're not very reliable sources.
Is this the most common thing that goes wrong?
No, actually. Lots of students are good at finding information.
I imagine not everyone knows how to organize their work, though.
That's not actually too bad either. It's more about your thinking. We want you to challenge ideas. to think about strengths and weaknesses, not to simply describe and repeat all the things you read.
Like in Essay A.
Exactly.
Sir, when will we get our marks?
I'll give you the marks within 2 weeks. Log into the University Learning website and you'll find them there. Read the online tutorial if you need help.
Okay. We're really stressed about getting good marks for this essay.
Don't worry too much. It's only 15% of your mark for the term. The main thing to do is use what you have learned in future work.
Do you mean for the presentation?
Less so. The feedback will be most helpful for the essay in the exam next month. It's a similar topic to the research you're doing now.
Okay, great. Thank you. One more question.
That is the end of section 3. In the test, you will now have 30 seconds to check your answers.